Hello guys, and welcome to some more AOR IndyCar highlights on Project Cars. This is for the German Grand Prix, and we're in qualifying right now. We've just done a time on the sort of the prime or harder compound. We're on the soft compound now. Sorry about this lap. It's not exactly the best quality, but I'll give you the benefit of that. This basically was like probably one of the best qualifying I've had so far this season. One of the best, but you'll see more highlights later on. Going to turn one, flicking it in. It's very hard. If you hit the switch curb too I see there on the switch curb, I just rode it, and if you ride it too much, you will die. Looking at the front right there, but you have to brake as late as you dare for that corner to carry as much speed through here, and that's been a pretty decent first sector so far. But yeah, it's turn one, it's like F1, but it's different. You switch curb on the inside, if you clip it, you're going spinning. You're going to spin. So I learned that throughout practice to do that, and to learn. Now down into this hairpin, we know it's very tricky, down to first gear, flicking it in there, and it's been a pretty good lap, and the car felt really solid. This is probably one of the first races of the season as we're starting to lag it a little bit, unfortunately, stuff like this, but the race, I promise you, isn't like this. It's only for qualifying, but generally the car just felt really good for this race. I think during this race I thought it was because I knew the track very well, obviously doing it on F1 and stuff, but I've come to learn that actually I've got the setup pretty bang on with this car now, with the way I need to drive. But yeah, definitely improving here. Sorry about the quality, it does improve around about now, and I do apologise. This is a better percent for me because it's actually one of the best stuff I've done in these cars. So yeah, pull to the corner now, hitting it nicely. Don't want to ride the come on the left hand side too much, and then the inside, and then getting a nice run to the flag at XB1 21.497. So a pretty good time from us there, P4. And that is where we qualify. So a very, very good qualifying from us. 1.5 seconds off Brembo in the end. He did a really solid lap there, 19, but we weren't getting anywhere near that. But that was a solid result for us to be in P5, actually, not P4. So that's the best qualifying so far of the season. But yeah, obviously, as I know the track so well, that helps a lot going into a race like this, because obviously I know very well. But here we go for the race, and we're in formation now. Formation lap has just gone down, and as I said, in these the problem is on the race start. On the race start, it says it's green, the tyres, but they're not. They're like blue. And the first laps, the races are very important. And obviously the last two have not been very good. In terms of starts, we've spun out a lot of times because the tyres being so cold, and it's something that we've not been able to. With the wheel, you can get the heat going quickly, whereas with the pad, you can't. So it's been pretty tough for us. But now we're waiting to go racing. The start point is around this corner, so the last corner. We need to get a really good start, and we're in third gear. And this is something. The starts of the races is something that I'm still learning at this point, as we're going around about now. And I'm in third gear, and I think El just got hit from the rear there. So he has a really bad start to the race. We're on his inside here. I'm going to try and go on his inside, but I'm going to let him go. I'm not going to bother doing that. Suicidal at this point in the race. I go wide as well. He's gone wide, and a pretty good start. But I think that's lucky to be at the inside. I'm actually getting, oh my god, someone stopped in the middle of the track, and we're into P4. So, but then lucky that was on the inside. When I give him the space, I wasn't going to fight him too much here. I had hardly any grip as well at this point. So I just legit, and I just couldn't. I didn't want to push the car too much. But now we've got Jordan McGonigal behind us as well, and he's going to be very quick in a straight line. We do run a bit more aero in this car compared to the wheel users, because I can't run low aero, otherwise yeah, I locked up a little bit there as well, and I think lucky Jordan's on my inside, but he doesn't even make it stick, so luckily we still keep him P5. But at this point I was happy because I hadn't spun out yet, so for me it was imperative to get the first 1, 2, 3 laps in to make sure I'm in the rhythm, make sure the tyres into gauge there. Look, just losing the car understeering. We're coming on later on to lap 3. We're in the gauge right now, and we're starting to pick up the pace a little bit now as we're chasing down a lucky dog who isn't getting away from us. Let me lose the rear end though, actually, and Jordan, I think, no, it's Bird actually. Bird is the word, gets past us, so I was like, oh my god. And he practices with me for these races. I think it was one of his first races of the season, and now I'm chasing him down, and we're in a slipstream. I'm going to go up the inside of him. Do I go for it? I do go for it. He's gone deep. He's broke way too late. I get the move done back into P5. I leave him the space on the exit so he doesn't, crash into me, and we're in P5 still. But behind us is for the win, Chaos Theory. He's going to the inside. I want to give him the space, and he goes at the inside. And yeah, I go too deep. I tried breaking later than him, but he gets the move done. So yeah, the outside line on these cars, and I lose the rear even more. So my momentum is completely gone. But yeah, the tyre's still not in the right gauge at this point, but it took about 4 or 5 laps, and I cut the corner, and yeah, definitely 5-second penalty. 5 seconds we can go, or the stop penalty. Rolling yeah, tyres weren't really engaged at that point, but that's unfortunate. But now at lap 4, they're starting to come into their own a little bit now. But I've come to realise that actually these tyres aren't good as, oh my god, Jordan McGonigal comes very close to hitting and creating me a new arsehole. But that's fine. We're okay still. I've come to realise that actually the Super Soft is the better tyre for me to start on in the races, because I can generally get the heat up, and obviously that's natural. You can get the heat going quicker with the Super Soft, or the softer compound in this case, not like Formula 1. So yeah, it works. I think the Super Soft actually or the softer works better for me as Jordan, or yeah, it's Bird actually. He's gone at the end, so he's gone too deep once again. We're getting back, so that's us into P7 again, defending very well. But yeah, the soft just tends to pick up the temperature quicker when the Super Soft than the hard. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, fast stop of the race for us so far, 23.3, pace starting to come, and it was around this point where the car I was starting to get comfortable. Obviously with the heavier fuel, the fuel's gone down, tyres have got better. So generally, I felt more comfortable in the car at this point in the race. So generally, very happy with the performance, or generally happy with the balance of the car at this point. So yeah, I've come to realise that actually the softer compound is the compound that works better for my situation, because unfortunately the hard just doesn't work as I'm lagging. Actually, look at that. Oh, I think that's someone wide staff suspect's going wide there. I'm going to go on the inside of turn 1. Do we make it stick? He leaves us a space. I'm going to leave him the space as well. And he does go... Where has he gone? Oh, he's there. Hello. He's there again, and he's got past us from the inside. He leaves us a space. He's being very fair to us. I'm being fair to him as well. This has been a great battle. This, believe it or not, is probably one of the first battles I've had this season, because I've already span out. So here we go. We're in a slipstream. We don't have as much strength and speed as him, evidently. So I'm using the push to pass. And we're in a slipstream here. I'm going to try and go to the inside. He's leaving space. We go to the left-hand side. We're going to try and go around the outside here. Let's go around the outside. We're leaving the inside. We're around the outside. He's still on the inside. And we're going to get him back there into P6. So what a move that is. And when I did it at the time, it felt so cool, because we're around the outside first ever time I think I've actually overtaken anyone properly. And that was awesome to do, to get experience. But now, coming to lap 19, we haven't pitted yet. But everyone else has, and we're actually in the lead of the race. For the first time this season, we're into the lead. So on the leading lap, doing a solid job, keeping our nose clean so far, and it's been a really good race so far. Definitely up there with the big boys, which is what we need to do. But generally, as I said earlier, these tyres, the hard compound for me on the pad is a very hard warm up. They generally feel very cold, and I can't grip going in the first couple of laps, and that's why I kept spinning out in the earlier races, because I generally couldn't get those tyres going. Whereas if I use the hard compound towards the end of a race, maybe that would make things better for me, I've come to realise, and my first laps will be better on the soft compound, so because they can warm up quicker, and then these hards. So yeah, that's what I've done so far afterwards. Really, I've learned from this track and Road America, which is coming up next as well. But we're paying in this lap for our set of soft compound tyres, because obviously when you come into the pit lane, the tyres are already warmed for you, so you don't have to warm up, whereas with the first lap of the race, you have to warm them up, so you can't do that. So Lucky Dog gets past us there, and we're right behind him, so he's had a really bad run of things. We've actually got the overcut done, so that's pretty impressive. And the hard tyres did feel pretty good at that point, and they're very consistent, so that was pretty good. But now Lucky Dog loses the car, and he's gone. And I can tell you something, he was very angry when that happened after the race. He was not happy. He was not a happy man. But luckily, he's okay. But I actually at this point realised that I under-fueled my car, and I had to start pushing, and I started short shifting everywhere to try and see if I could save the fuel like you can do in Formula 1. On project cars, doesn't really work. I mean, it helps, but doesn't help. And for the win, KL Series gets past us pretty easily as I'm short shifting. I'm going to try and fight him back here, but I knew with 4 laps to go, my fuel, I wasn't getting to the end, so I had to make another stop. So in hindsight, I should have pitted probably about lap 24 again for another set of tyres and some more fuel, because you'll see later on why. But yeah, I was angry with myself because I misjudged the fuel. But then again, this is a learning experience for me. Learning, the fuel is obviously on real, the fuel settings, so obviously it will go down quite quickly. And I was learning all these things about the fuel and stuff like that. I'm learning all about fuel, pit stops, how it all works still. So generally, it's all very new for me. I've been doing Formula 1 for such a long time, and this is all very new. I'm going to make mistakes, and this is the first of many mistakes that I've made this season. So that's the way it is. Coming into pits now for our new set of I don't think I changed tyres. No, I think I did change tyres, and we're going to be behind Lucky Dog, so he's rejoined, and he's a bit up in front of the race, so we're going to try and catch him up. We knew that I just felt that he didn't have the confidence in the car, so I was going to catch him up big time to try and attack him, so that's what our aim is to do. And going on later on in the race, lap 29, we have caught up to him, and we've been pushing as hard as I dared, coming into the last corner of the beginning of the final lap of the race, and it's been a pretty good run so far. Currently across the line to be a 121.7, so we're matching our qualifying laps here. Going into turn 1, we're going to push as hard as we dare, and the car felt absolutely fantastic. And then coming on later on into the middle sector, towards the end of the middle sector here, he really is slow at this point, so he's struggling like hell, and I could sense, I could smell, I could sense I could do it, and he's really slow through there, and he is really slow, and we're going to put him as much under pressure as possible, but the dirty air starting the pack. I was going deep as well, so I was struggling myself with the dirty air, and it's something, again, I'm getting used to. It's something that I haven't known before, because in F1 it isn't there, so here, it's here, and I'm right close behind him, and try and go for the gap, but he closes it last minute. I bump him across the line, and he finishes just in front of me, and I was so devastated with that. Yeah, I could have beaten him there, but there you go. That race was awesome. Clean race, no problems, no crashes. Absolutely pinpoint perfect. Very happy with that race. Brembo wins, and that was a superb result for me. That was a really good race for me. Could have probably got 4th in that race in the end, but unfortunately, I just underfilled myself in the end of the day. So that's the way it is. But yeah, solid race. First of many solid races coming up, and I'm very happy to be back on it. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for another video very soon. Bye, guys.